trainer can be a difficult process. Price and quality are two important features in any purchase decision. Are higher prices generally associated with higher quality elliptical trainers? So Consumer Reports did this extensive study, and the following data show the price and rating for the elliptical trainers. So instead of saying, normally you say quality leads to higher prices, right? So if this was investigating whether quality led to higher prices, quality would be the dependent variable, higher prices would be the independent. Quality would be the independent variable, higher prices would be the dependent variable. You're saying quality drives prices. Well, this is not investing that question. This is saying, does higher prices have a relationship between ratings? So if you pay more money, are you really getting a better elliptical machine? So in this case, price is the independent variable, and the rating is dependent on the price. That's the relationship they're investigating. Does paying more really get you a better machine? So if you do the analysis and the trend line, so remember you're just copying and pasting with the scatter plot the trend line. You do that and do the regression analysis, you find that there is a straight line relationship between the two variables. Correct? So I want you to see if you can write down what is the regression equation, what is V0, what is V1. What is the regression equation, what is V0, what is V1. You have to do the arrow. Oh, show mine. There you go. More options. And click the graph thing. And one more. That one. And then the last box.
Which one are we doing? This one?
Yeah. So, divide it by
Okay.
that thing.
This right here?
No.
V1 is 0.00.
Okay, so you highlighted more than you're supposed to.
Oh, okay.
And then
So when you get those red
V0
dots,
is
that means you have more than two variables. And that other variable is always number
58.1.
So the red dots correspond to all this right here. Right. Okay. Okay. Right. So and then the last question is, if the price is 15,000 or 1,500, what is the rating? If the price is 1,500, what is the rating? What? Right. So the 20. regression equation.
Y equals 0.0084x.
Sense of variation in the dependent variable that is accounted for by the independent variable. Percent of variation in the dependent variable, whatever is on the y, to show all the residuals on the vertical axis and the independent variable on the horizontal axis. So if all the points, what we're looking for is a horizontal line that goes across. If all the points, if it's a linear relationship and it describes it correctly, then as the horizontal line goes across, the points are going to be random above and below it. If there is a pattern in the relationship, then the residuals are going to show that pattern. And let me show you what that looks like. So we have the residuals. And the residuals, again, are these distances between where the dot is and where the line is. So I have all these distances. Those are my residuals. So when I do a residual plot, I have the horizontal line going across, and my first plot here would be, well, this is the distance, it's below it, so it's negative. This is the distance above the line, below the line, above the line. Okay, so they're randomly above and below the line, and you would see that. So I have these dots here randomly above and below the line. When I do my residual plot of those distances, you can have a horizontal line with the distance. So from here, that would be that one. This one's right on there. But it's plotted horizontally. Okay? If instead of one that is modeled linearly, if we have something, you can, but then you need to make sure you click labels so you're going to get the right answer. And then the next one is price. So I highlighted the words at the top, rating, price. So I put labels, check labels. So I have the Y range, the X range. The other thing I need to click is residual plots. Residual plots. And if you do that, you get a residual plot. Everybody get that? You get that?
Not residual, but just residual plot.
You want a residual plot. Residuals give you all the right distances between the two.
Yes.
Yeah, that's important too. I'll talk about that. But that's your residual plot. Okay, so you highlight the Y, which is the rating. You have to go all the way down, right? Then you highlight the X. And then click the residual plot.
Should mine look like that?
Beg your pardon?
Should mine look like that?
Yes. Okay. All right, so you have a gray part, which I'm going to talk to you about in a minute, but since we're on residuals, let's just talk about that first. So this is your residual plot. And if you look at it, if you get rid of this one down here, there is kind of like randomness above the below and the bottom. So if this was my distribution, and I was trying to see whether I could really plot it linearly, I would probably go out and grab a few more data points, because I'm not 100% feeling like this is a random below and above, because it may have a curve, but I guess with this one down there, it's okay. So residual plots, you're looking for a pattern. It's definitely homoscedastic, because there's not any getting bigger or getting smaller, these are on the same line, and it's pretty much variable. So you would look at these residual results and say, yes, I think I could use linear to plot that. The other stuff that it gives you is over here, and what this tells you is your y-intercept. So our y-intercept was 58, correct? So that's the y-intercept. And price, that was our variable that was the independent variable. So that would be your V1. So you can get your V0 and V1 from this regression also. The V0 is 58.15. The V1 again is 0.0084. It also change anything, there's not a relationship. And what we found out here, if you look at price, the p-value is really small. So we can reject that hypothesis and say, no, price really does make a difference. If I put price in here, it is significantly different from 0, and therefore I can model using this relationship. So again, it tells you how good your model is, it's significant. The price is a significant variable, so that's what that's saying. And it actually plots out your residuals here and gives your R squared. Okay? So now